All right, good morning, everyone. Your job today is to get 5 problems done independently using the Pemdas or Order of Operations checklist. So I am going to do an easier problem and then a harder problem. And really what Pemdas is just practice, kind of like multi-digit multiplication. You guys knew the steps and how to do them, but you made some mistakes along the way until you really practiced it and figured out what to do. So Pemdas is no different. You really have to just take your time and practice it a lot to get good at it. So what I'm going to do here is pick an easy problem first and then show you a little bit more of a complicated problem. So an easy problem for us today is going to be looking here at number 6. So I know I always need to make my Pemdas checklist. Now my writing is going to be a little bit bigger because I'm writing on an iPad. So you guys got to write a little bit smaller on yours so you can fit everything, okay? So there's my Pemdas checklist. Now remember, I also always write the symbols next to it. P is for parentheses, E is for exponents, M is multiply, divide. Ooh, and you know what? I actually wrote this wrong. Because we write it like this, MD and AS, because you do them in the same step, not one before the other. Multiply and divide, add, subtract. Great. So I'm going to switch over to green here. So if I'm looking here at number 6, first step I think is always the easiest, parentheses. I have one set of parentheses. There it is. I'm going to solve that. 14 plus 4 is 18. Easy. Okay. Now, the rest of my problem, I have to rewrite. You can't do it in your head, I promise, okay? It's not going to work out well for you if you do it in your head. So now I have no more parentheses. I told you in 5th grade we really don't do exponents, but I checked anyway. I don't have any. Now I have multiplication and division in order from left to right. So I don't have any division in here, so the only thing I have is multiplication. So I'm going to switch to blue. I have 18 times 11. I'm going to do that over on the side here to kind of help me out. All right, 128. But don't forget this plus 2. You got to bring it down. Okay, and then my last step is add and subtract. So that's easy. There's only addition. 130 is my answer. And I'm going to box it. Okay. So that's an easier problem in that the steps are very clear about which ones you need to do when. There are some problems on here that are a little tricky, and we're going to look at one of those now. So I am going to just quickly erase up here so that we aren't distracted. Okay, so if I look down here towards the bottom of my page, let me move this up a little bit. You'll see number 4 and number 9 are kind of similar. They have several numbers inside of the parentheses, okay? This is tricky because you have to solve everything inside of these problems first. So I'm going to start with number 4 here. So again, Pemdas checklist. I don't care how long this takes you. You need to do it every time. Okay. So parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, add, subtract, Pemdas. Got it. There's my checklist. So the first step, parentheses. I have several operations here in parentheses, okay? I need to do all of them first before I do anything with this times 2. So start with your parentheses. Now inside, I have addition and subtraction. I'm telling you now, go in order. So addition, is the first one here on the left. So that's the one I solve. 15 plus 17 in my head. I know 15 plus 15 is 30, and then 2 more to get to 17 would be 32. Minus 2 times 2. Now watch what I'm doing. I'm keeping this in parentheses because I did not solve everything inside of it yet, okay? So if you haven't figured out everything inside the parentheses, keep them because that step is not over yet, okay? 32 minus 2, that's easy. That's 30. I can get rid of my parentheses and bring down my times 2. Okay, no parentheses, there's no exponents. The only operation left is multiplication. So 30 times 2, or 30 plus 30, would give me 60, and I'm going to box my answer at the end. I don't have any addition and subtraction, obviously. So this problem isn't really hard in that there's a lot of steps. It's just that the parentheses having 2 operations inside can sometimes trick you or make you miss a step or do things out of order. So just remember, write your Pemdas checklist, take your time, and go in order.